Hello apples and cherries and welcome to day 2 of your plastic pollution English lessons. So just to recap, the aim of this week's worth of learning is to explore the impact of plastic in our oceans, and we're going to think about the reasons why we need to reduce this plastic and what we can do to help reduce the pollution in our oceans. So today we're going to think about why is it so dangerous to have plastic in our oceans. So by the end of this video, you will be able to recognise that plastic in our ocean is dangerous. Some of you may then also be able to explain some of the reasons why plastic in the ocean is so dangerous. And some of you may even begin to write down 3 reasons why you think plastic is dangerous in the ocean. So here we have the vocabulary slides that we talked through yesterday. So let's just recap these words so we just know what they mean. So pollution is when there is something in our environment that is harmful or poisonous, something that causes harm and damage to our environment. Reduce is when we want to make something smaller. So we want to reduce the amount of plastic pollution in our oceans. An ocean is a large expanse of sea, so that's where all the seas in our world come together and they make different oceans. Plastic is a material that we use a lot to make different types of objects. Durable is a material that is strong and lasts a long time. An environment is the surroundings in which a person, animal or plant lives or is currently in. Okay then, so let's just think about plastic in our environment. Have a look at these pictures. What can you see? This one here, you can see that this is a little bit of water. It looks like it could be in a river. And inside this river, it looks like people have just dumped their rubbish. And you can see it's all coming together. And it's not a very nice place for any of the wildlife to live. In this one, we have a seagull that has been flying around and has come across a packet of crisps. And this packet of crisps, it probably thinks is food. It won't eat the crisps inside it, but it will try to eat the plastic on the outside, which we all know would not be very nice. This picture here is quite sad. There is I think it's a sea lion, and there is some rope that's made of plastic, and it has been left in the ocean, and this poor sea lion has got caught up in it. I think it would probably feel quite scared, and it's probably going to be hurting a little bit. Okay, and then if you have a look at this picture here, we have a beach where the waves have come in and they have dumped the plastic that was inside the ocean onto the beach. It's just not very nice, is it? And the problem is that we are using so much plastic one time, we're not reusing it, that then we throw it away and it ends up into our oceans and it's causing massive amounts of pollution. The plastic then breaks down into tiny pieces which get blown around by the wind and the rain, and it ends up in our streams, rivers and oceans. When it is in our oceans, our sea creatures will easily mistake this plastic for food. So it will think, oh, that looks like the plankton that I would try to eat, or some of the seeds that I might find in the sea, or some of the coral, and it would eat it. And sometimes, unfortunately, those animals would not survive, or it would hurt their insides so badly that they would be very, very uncomfortable. The other thing that's very worrying about plastic pollution in our oceans is how deep it is going into our ocean. There is so much of it that it is dropping down and down and down. And because the plastic in our oceans lasting for a long time and it's not getting broken down, it's going even further down into our sea. It's going to the seabed, where we need the environment down there to be good for the coral to grow. And if the coral doesn't grow, then we won't have any food for our sea creatures. And if our sea creatures are starting to die out, then the bigger creatures at the top won't be able to survive. And just like this one here, if there is lots of plastic in our oceans, when our sea creatures are swimming around, they end up getting trapped. I'm sure we've all seen pictures of turtles being stuck in our can rings. And unfortunately, that is causing some of our sea creatures to not survive, and they are in lots of pain. And it makes you really think, is that fair? Okay, so this wasn't a very happy video today, but it's very important for us to think about. So we've discussed there a lot of the reasons why it's so dangerous to have plastic in our oceans. So your task today is to write down 3 reasons why it is so dangerous. If you don't want to write it, that's fine. You can talk to someone in your home. I've added some pictures at the bottom here to show you. So think about our animals getting trapped. Think about the litter and the plastic dropping to the bottom of our oceans and littering the sea. And think about all of that rubbish that ends up on our beaches. There's lots of reasons why plastic in our oceans is dangerous. And if we know the reasons, then we can start to work to reduce the amount of plastic in our oceans. Okay. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.